and welcome back to more flight rising tutorials. So, I recall that I said during one of the videos that I would explain probably the genes or colors or something like so I decided, hey, I should do that, so here's a video about that. Now, I'll try to explain as best as I can. As previously stated in other videos, I'm not an expert here. In fact, I'm probably one of the worst people you could ask, but at least I can try to explain how things work and stuff. So, if you are more into breeding dragons and their outcomes, and you want to know more, there are many people on Flight Rising that are very specialized in this, and there are lots of forum topics that you can ask your questions about. So always feel free to go there if you need any help. Alright, so right now I'll tell you what I know, and that is, for example, when you get to start, as you've noticed in my starting up videos, you will be able to create your first dragon. You can choose from 4 different breeds, and you can choose 2 colors. The color for the primary and secondary. The color for the third gene will be randomly determined. Afterwards you also get a random progen, which will be basically the mate to your dragon. Of course you may do whatever you want with them, but that's basically, you know, the lore and the starting up and stuff. Okay, so here we see Ven. This is my first random, my first progen, not random. The random one is Boss. There we go. So, if we take a look at Ven, I chose the colors Seafoam and Violet. And all the genes are mentioned on the right. All the genes for her currently are basic. If the tertiary gene is basic, you won't be able to see it on your dragon, but it still plays a part in breeding. If we take a look at Boss, this is my random progen I talked about. He was the one I couldn't, you know, choose which colors he had or species or whatever. His primary is platinum, basic, as you can see, platinum, colored. His secondary is steel, basic. You get the primary, by the way, you can see mostly over the whole body. The steel is usually shown in the wings, and in this case also in the hair and the tail, or mane I should say. And then we have also basic avocado. So you won't be able to see this, but once again it does play a part. So what happens if I would take Fen and I would breed her together with Boss, and that would be this ID. But since they're both able ready to breed, I can always do this. Press that button. I will select Boss. Now I would highly suggest, unless you want to completely keep it as a surprise, try to always press the button, preview Offspring, and then you'll see possibilities. So this doesn't mean that if you lay the nest, that these babies will hatch like this. See, you can click it as many times as you want to, and you'll see different outcomes every time. So, and as you can see, none of them have blue anywhere, but you have something on Flight Rising, the color wheel. I would highly suggest that you take a look at that as well. We'll probably post a link in the description in case because I'm not sure if I can find it right now, so I'll post it in the description and you can take a look at that calmly by yourself. Basically, you say you would have indeed this color platinum and then seafoam, and any possibility of colors lay between those two, if you see what I mean. So, and that the same goes for the wings and as well as the tertiary gene. And what you eventually could get is a baby like this one. For people who know a bit of Japanese, blue. So as you can see, the colors that he got are completely different from his parents. He's got aqua, sky, and forest. Now, since his parents all have basic genes, he too will have basic genes. You can't change that unless you use a gene scroll. I'll show you that in a bit. So we have I, Boss, and Ven. Basically this little family here. Now, if you indeed go to the nesting grounds, here I'm currently hatching or incubating a nest between Chirrut and Shadowfoam. And once you get your babies, I'll show you actually a nest that I just got today. You will be able to get, for example, even colors that you didn't thought existed. I'm sorry. It's too pink for me, that's why I'm selling it in the auction house. How do you sell a hatchling on the auction house? You can, for example, go to auction house, check on dragons, fill in the breed and stuff, and maybe price range, and check if the dragon, like, kind of compare the prices. That's always my suggestion. Always, when you're selling stuff, always compare the prices, and also make sure that, do you want to quickly lose the dragon you're selling, then you should probably lower the price. If you want to get a lot for it though, you should probably sell it at a higher price. But of course, a lot of hatchlings and dragons on this site are actually sold for too little, so, which is kind of a shame, but so be careful. Anyways, if you want to sell, you just press the sell button on the top here, and you select what you want to sell. So do you want to sell foods or materials, apparel, dragons, familiars, battle, other, or skins? On this case, if you want to sell dragon, you click that, you click the dragon, you select the duration, and then the price in treasure or in gems, and then you post the auction. Double check if what you're selling for is the correct price that you want to sell it for, because I sometimes see stuff being sold for too cheap or too expensive. Like, a zero is missing or either added, so to speak. So it could be a mistake or it could be done on purpose, but if it's a mistake, like I said, double check your prices. So that was basically talking about the genes. I'll also lastly show you the gene scrolls and whatnot. You can also buy them at the auction house or the marketplace. If you're looking for them in the marketplace, you should click speciality, and here you see you can find primary genes, which are shown by the green DNA strand. The secondary genes are shown by the purple-pink DNA strand. The tertiary gene you can see by the blue DNA strand. And then you can also change the breed of your dragon, which has this red and yellow or white DNA strand thing going on there. So there you have all the, and you can also rename your dragon, by the way, that's also, but we were talking about genes. So if you're looking for any specific breed changing or gene changing scrolls, you can always go to the marketplace or to the auction house, where I think you'd have to click other. Let's check. There we go. Yes. Okay, so gene scroll isn't what you type in. Alright, so you need to, if you are looking for a specific gene scroll, type it in, or type in the primary, secondary, tertiary, and you'll find it right here. So as you can see, if you go over one of them, it says it's a specialty item, a scroll that will change the primary gene of one dragon to speckle. This item can only be used once and will disappear after it has been applied. So it will change the gene of your dragon, which means that can be passed on to any offspring. Now I'll take a look here at Teme, for example. Here we see, why would I take a look at Teme first? Because she doesn't have basic genes, and I think that's very important to show right now. She has the colors ice, ivory, and denim. And for the genes she has iridescent, shimmer, and gem bond. Iridescent is this like nice shiny way of showing the color in different like kind of hues, and shimmer is actually the same, but it's for the wings. Gem bond are all these little like crystals you see. So if I would say want to have Fen make sure that her offspring would have the gem bond gene, I would have to look for a gene scroll, tertiary gene scroll, gem bond. And then I would apply that to Fen. Fen would then have gem bond, and since the color is blue for the tertiary gene, the gem bonds will look blue. And when I would decide to mate with her and Boss, for example, they would now have babies possible with gem bond or basic, considering that Boss will still have the basic tertiary gene. If he has the gem bond gene, there's a very, very much more likely chance that their offspring would have gem bond. So it all works also with possibilities, probabilities, and chances on this site. So if you're very interested in that and seeing, oh, how will this dragon look with this, always keep that in mind. And that was it for today. I hope you enjoyed this kind of tutorial thingy about genes and whatnot. And I will see you in the next video. Goodbye!